What's up, everybody? This is Jarrett from Bowling for Soup.
Hey, this is Tommy Wiseau. How are you guys doing? Greg is here.
Hi, this is Frank Turner.
And I am Mega Ran.
And you are lucky enough to be listening to Upside Down Shark Radio.
Yeah, be upside down. Don't worry about it.
That was harder than it looked. Wow, it's going to smell like smoke in here for a while.
I don't think there's a fire alarm in here.
That's good. We can die in peace.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to a special self-deprecating anniversary celebration of Upside Down Shark.
Yes!
I need to turn down the volume on my headphones. I am one of your hosts, as I usually am. Number one Evanescence fan, Craig Bourne. Joined by Tom Baker. How are you today, sir?
You know what? On a momentous occasion like this, I'm even going to let go all of your little slip-ups, audio miscues and everything, you know? Like, it's all gravy. I am just that excited.
I'm always the best at intros. You've always said that.
You are the professional preambler.
That's it.
And hello to everyone watching live on our Facebook event if we manage to figure out how to stick this on OBS. Thank you for watching along with us.
We usually dress like this. Usually. Oh, my glasses aren't moving. How are we today then, Tom?
We're good. It's been a whole year since we started this inside joke that got out of hand.
So what was the name? What do we do here if people haven't tuned into us beforehand?
Well, let's give them a little bit of a background on what Upside Down Shark is, what Upside Down Shark Radio is, and what they can expect from the episode ahead.
Okay.
Oh, you want me to do it?
Well, I did ask you that question and you tried shielding it, so I feel like you should answer my question.
Well, it's a secret.
What's the secret? What we do?
Yeah.
Okay. This episode is going to be the highlights of our past year, what we like, what we didn't like, what we could improve upon, what we think was the best, and what Agumon thinks is the best too.
Is that how Agumon sounds?
No.
Okay. So Upside Down Shark was a little thing we started about a year ago, pretty much to the day, or if not to the week, where we just wanted to get together, hang out, promote some local talent, local creative people, and just have a chinwag every week about what we found was interesting, whether it be comic books, movies, music, even wrestling, because that's Craig's favorite. And we had no expectations of how long it would last, how long we could go for, and sure enough, a year later, we're still going strong. And I feel like that's the reason enough to dress up in a sweet suit, and a pretty good suit. And
speaking of this suit, because this is our anniversary, we dressed up okay, but I am sweating in this jacket already, so I'm going to have to take it off.
Ah, boo. We'll just wait here. Like a da 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 da.
Halfway through that, I feel like I was like, he's really good at filling this time. So here's to 1 year.
Hang on.
If you're listening to this on audio, we are drinking Pepsi Max, because what else would you drink out of champagne glass? Well, you've got a champagne glass.
I mean, it is the official drink of Upside Down Shark Radio, so cheers.
Oh, that's the good stuff. Nothing better than room temperature Pepsi Max for a special occasion.
So I thought for this episode, being that it's
Tom planned all of this, just so everyone knows.
No, I didn't.
Okay.
I muddled together a document last night. Considering this is a momentous occasion and we want to give it a timeless quality, rather than discussing the news of the week as we often do, this week we have decided to look retrospectively at what we've done in the past, what our highlights are of the year, and just recount some of our favourite memories. So, Craig, what was your highlight of the first year of Upside Down Shark Radio, if you could boil it down to just one?
Just one?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I would like to talk about health, because since Upside Down Shark Radio started, I suffered an eye stroke and I broke my leg. So that's my highlight of getting together with this venture with you.
Really?
Yes.
Of everything we've done, it's the two things which have been like the most tragic things in your life over the past year.
And they're linked to this. Coincidence?
I mean, you raised this last time, and frankly, I'm not seeing it.
Shark bite. There you go. Injury. Just saying.
This is the weirdest 7 steps or Kevin Bacon thing that I've ever heard.
Bacon.
Surely you've got something related to the show.
That suit is now related to this show, and that's all I can see.
Good.
When we first interviewed, you did Frank Turner, so I was like, wow, this is actually how many months was that in? Was that?
It was about 3 months in. 3 months in.
So after 3 months of just recording stuff and putting it up, and then all of a sudden you're like, hey, I'm going to interview Frank Turner. So I was like, this just seems to be getting pretty quick, growing and stuff like that. And then 2 weeks later, there we were, I think, interviewing Bowling for Soup. And I was like, wow, okay, didn't expect this to happen. And at that point, I was wearing my, heart rate monitor.
Yep.
And we went to Shepherd's Bush, London, and I drove. I think it took around 2 hours to get to London, and we got there, I would say, okay time.
Yeah, we had to run a little bit, but we were okay.
Well, that's what makes it. We got to Five Guys, and then realised, what was it? The microphone that we were going to use, this professional microphone we've never used before. Oh no, we can't turn it on. So panic. Yep. So we have all this equipment in the Five Guys, and then we're like, oh no, it's not going to turn on. What do we do? So then we're in the middle of the shopping mall, and Tom's running around there looking for batteries whilst I'm sitting in the Five Guys because we can't leave the equipment alone.
Literally running.
He couldn't find anywhere that sells battery in this whole mall, and then you jumped into Smith's and you saw some just on a little strip.
Not
somewhere.
even Smith's. I had to go to the prescription stand at Boots because it's the only place in the whole of Westfield, Stratford, to sell batteries, AA batteries.
So this put a bit of time on us, and then we realised, oh no, there's like a hold button that you have to push down before you turn on the power button.
Now we know.
Boy, were our faces blue.
Well, yours is pretty red because you had to run to the venue with me, and with the heart monitor on, I don't think it was probably the best practice, but...
Yeah, so we figure out how to turn the microphone thing on, and we're like, oh, no, because then afterwards we're like, well, if that doesn't work, we still got this, you could turn your iPhone into a professional sort of microphone. So Tom whips this out, and I was like... oh, that's a headphone jack. Have you got a good iPhone converter as well then? And it's like, what do you mean? Your boy Craig just bought the iPhone X and it had no headphone jack at all, so that was our backup gone as well. Oh, so then we put the place where we interviewed them into my phone, my sat nav, and then it was like a big circle. So we had to pretty much run from where we were to where we were interviewing them, and then we get there, we interview them. I think it went okay. It was nice,
Yeah.
But then we leave where we interviewed them. We came in from the left. We looked to our right, and there's just a set of stairs just down the road, which we could have taken instead of running all the way around.
You know what? We saw a bit of London we never saw before. We'll know next time.
And we'll never see it again.
But my favourite part of the interview itself was the time you brought quite literally a set of crockery to the interview in an Assassin's Creed Origins backpack.
That's a good bag. It fits a lot of stuff in.
I'm glad to hear. With the intention of finding out once and for all what Bowling for Soup's favourite bowl is, or what kind of their favourite kind of bowl, because everyone asks them what their favourite kind of soup is. No one's ever really asked them what their favourite kind of bowl is before.
With real life examples.
With examples to show you're working.
I've always wanted to be an investigative journalist, Tom. So I find like these hard-hitting questions were what we were made to do when we did this show.
I agree. And let's cut to a clip of that investigative journalism.
And I'm the one who can't speak normally. Bowl of soup.
Have you ever been asked, what is your favourite type of bowl?
No.
You haven't? Well, for you, sirs, here are some bowls I would like you to have a look at, judge, and just tell me which one you believe is the best.
That's the best one.
Mixing?
This is a mixing bowl I like. Okay, we would call this like a...
Nachos? That's where I...
Yeah, you like melt some cheese in there, right?
Yeah. Pasta bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Cereal bowl?
Cereal bowl.
Okay.
I'm going, that's the best one.
Mixing bowl.
Yeah, and here's why. Because we would use this for all of the above.
Yeah. You know how much cereal you can get in
you
there?
can get a half a box of Fruity Pebbles in this thing.
Yeah.
We don't get fruit pebbles on it.
No.
No.
Well, we could get lots of fruity pebbles in there.
I do agree with him though. That's
So,
the best bowl.
Mixing bowl, bowling for soup.
It's
Indoors.
right. Yeah.
Thank you.
What a jolly time that was.
Brings back the memories, really, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's almost like they're in the room with us again.
And you've still moaned at me that we can't monetize that video for some reason.
It's
Some
'cause you d-
mystic reason.
You censored half the swears, but not all of them for some inexplicable
so-
reason.
So if I was like to say uck, then that would be, demonetized.
It depends what context.
Okay. That's good to know. Good to know for the future. So I guess that would have been my highlight, because I didn't ever think I'd interview them.
It was pretty. It was pretty jokes. They were the loveliest guys as well. We only got to interview Gary and Jarrett, but my favorite thing was
You set up together. We set up the camera, didn't we? And it was like, can we just get him? He was in the back sleeping.
yeah.
wasn't
I can't remember what's his name. The other guy. Oh no, I can't remember. Well, while Craig's definitely not googling it,
he? Sorry, bowling for soup.
before we went into the function room in this hotel where we were interviewing them, the guitarist Chris, the bald one, slightly portly, the one you all know, he left the room.
Eric.
That's it. Yeah,
Was the guy sleeping behind him.
of course, we all knew that. But Chris, the guitarist, left the room to go to the toilet, and before we sat down to interview the other two, they were like, "Oh, should we wait for Chris? He's just gone to the toilet." And they went, "Nah, you probably shouldn't wait." And literally, for the 15-20 minutes we were interviewing them, he was on the toilet. And you know what? I respect that. You can't rush these things.
So yes, sometimes that's what you need, isn't it?
Yeah.
And
After like a 12-hour flight or however long it took to get to the UK, because they interviewed the day they arrived from their flight.
yes, they got off the plane, went to the hotel, did all the interviews, and then obviously got the time difference as well. Like I understand why Eric was in the back sleeping.
And I can imagine why you'd need to do a 20-minute poo.
What you need to get all the American out of you,
Yeah, you just need a clean slate. You need a detoxification.
Yeah. Very nice. It was very good.
No, that's one of my highlights too. Did you have any other highlights from the year that was?
The year that was, that has, and never will be again.
Indeed. Wow, really deep.
I would say Megaran, he's a very nice guy. We interviewed him, didn't we? Well, me and someone else interviewed him.
Yeah, and was it he who gave you his cheese, or did you give him your cheese?
So we went into the Surya Centre, which was more straightforward. For anyone who doesn't know, the Surya Centre is just basically you get off at St Pancras and it's a 20-minute walk. So that's a pretty easy go. I was poor, so I drove my car because I already had petrol in my car. See, always thinking me. And once again, we got 5 guys, and then went and saw Megaran. And we got there really early this time. I wasn't taking any chances. But the venue was also a bar where he was actually playing that night as well. So it was sat there, and it looked like a kebab shop from the outside.
Okay.
But on the inside, it's a nice little bar. You go underground, and it looks like there's development work going on. And we go into this spare room because he had his own changing room sort of thing. We go into this back room. And it's just got a fridge that looked like it wasn't making anything cold. Like, I think soup was in there, boiling it. And it was just like, grrr. Go into the room. It definitely smells like rubber or / weed, shall we say. And it was like someone's basement that they forgot about ages and ages ago. So we sat down with Megaran there. And obviously, if you're a megastar and you want certain things, like maybe I want some Skittles or something like that, just the red Skittles. Megaran just asked for bread and cheese, and that's what he got. So I was like, before you go, can I have some of your cheese? And he was like, yeah, let's do this.
You had some Rockstar cheese.
Yeah, Rockstar. They don't get any rowdier
No.
than the mature Tesco's cheese. He was a nice guy, very welcoming, very friendly. And I've heard over the years that he is just very nice and very talented.
He did seem like a lovely guy in the interview.
Yeah.
Didn't he just say he wanted to be everyone's friend? That was his goal of his success and fame.
Yeah. If everyone can help everyone, then that makes the world a better place for everyone.
Forever.
For everyone.
Big up Megaran.
Yeah. and I think it turned out all right.
Roll clip.
Favourite thing about the UK?
The English breakfast.
I saw you tweet a chip butty.
Yeah, I just
How was
learned
that?
about that. I didn't eat it.
Oh, you didn't eat it?
No, I just
one.
saw it on the sign, and I was like, what is this? And then I started talking about it and tweeting about it, and people were really interested in it correcting me on a lot of things that were wrong with Chip Buddy and the way that I, took a picture of it. I guess it shouldn't have ketchup on it. It should have gravy or butter or things like that. But it's a French fry sandwich, and so then when I said French fry, people were like, "No, it's chips." Well, I was trying to communicate it to my American friends who didn't know what it was. You know what I mean? So that was really all I was trying to do. 1 second.
Last question. What's your favourite shark? Here are some options, because we're Upside Down Shark Radio. We have the winghead, scoophead, Bruce from Finding Nemo, maybe Jaws. Mine's the hammerhead, personally.
I like the hammerhead. I actually like the tiger shark.
I
think tiger shark's cool. I love the stripes. I'm a big fan of the stripes.
Like some tribal stripes before you get going. Thank you for your time, Megaran.
Thank you so much.
I've been Craig.
I appreciate it, Craig.
Can I have a slice of cheese before we go?
Absolutely.
Thank you very much.
It's mature cheddar, so you must approach it in a very mature fashion.
Not the American style cheese.
Not at all. No? You can't get this stuff in the States. This is pure British cheese. And it's mature.
Thank you.
The number 3 of strength. 3 out of what exactly?
I believe it's 5.
Wow.
When you get to 5, it's extra mature.
Oh my gosh. It's so mature that it wants to have a candlelight dinner before it goes into your mouth.
So me and Megaran are going for a candlelight dinner. I will see you next time.
Peace.
I was looking like a porky boy back then, wasn't I? Yeah. Where did all that weight go?
Well, you lost a leg in the year that was. So.
This is the only thing. We're like Upside Down Shark. Throughout the years, you'll just see me like I was podgy, and then slowly get more and more like, oh.
And I'll go completely the other way and just get fatter and fatter until I'm more wide than tall.
Fatter with fame, fitter with fame. Is that what we're gonna say? That's the Upside Down Shark secret, baby. You know what I'm talking about, baby.
Baby.
Yeah, so I would say meeting 2 very prolific artists. I know they're prolific in their own way, and they're not like every day talking about artists, but I listen to them regularly.
I mean, Bowling for Soup did the music for Jimmy Neutron and Phineas and Ferb. I don't know if you can get any more high caliber than that.
We spoke about that in their interview. Roll it. No.
Maybe, I don't know.
No.
Let's just protect ourselves. Wow, what a great clip and some insightful information from our interview.
Oh,
this could go one of 2 ways.
Oh, this is good. Yeah, so they did do the Jimmy Neutron theme. Megaran has been on television with the WWE, and I'm glad they're all nice people.
They are. It's nice to meet some people that you've admired for a few years and know that they're as good as you'd expect and hope them to be.
I can't wait to interview someone who's a big jerk.
Yeah, we haven't done that yet, have we?
No.
We've been lucky.
No.
Maybe if we eventually get to interview Ace of Base, then...
Ace of who, sorry?
Well, I'm not sure if we've mentioned this on air, but we emailed quite a few people to try and get some interviews, and obviously maybe 1% reply back, and about half of that ever say yes. So we get a lot of radio silence, but one that we had particular radio silence from,
particular that you remember a lot.
And to be honest, I can't blame them for not replying because, frankly, it was just a slap in the face of disrespect. Craig,
let's all think, right? When we think about keyboards, what's next to the B? The V, right? I'm just saying, it could happen to anyone.
Craig interviewed the band Ace of Base, famous for I Saw the Sign and All That She Wants Is Another Baby, but called them Ace of Vase.
Ace of Ace.
That's not what VASE means.
Term of endearment.
We never heard from them again.
And probably never will.
You should do a follow-up email to be like, further from my previous email. We'd really like to interview Ace of Vase.
Oh, God.
Just roll with it.
Oh, God. That's funny. That is funny. I should not be running any sort of corporation.
you should get a copywriter or a proofreader at the very least.
That's why we've got new people now.
Yay! We'll mention them later.
I suppose that we're talking about people that are jerks or people we're never going to interview.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to segue to your former co-worker, Dennis.
Ah, yes. Young Dennis Murphy.
An actual Irishman, I've been told.
Let's roll the clip to prove it.
My favorite shark would be the brown cat shark that has its home in the Puget Sound in northwest of America, which I'm at right now.
Wow, that was filmed on set at Twin Peaks. So, cheers, Den, for that video. It was fabulous.
Twin Peaks is also the name of a chocolate that I found in a pound store the other day.
I've seen that. It looks like discount Toblerone.
It does. I haven't tried it, though. I could murder a Toblerone right now.
We should have got Toblerone.
Yeah.
Got Kinder Eggs, though.
So, Dennis is Irish, but he wasn't drunk. So, I'm not sure how Irish he is.
He's pretending.
He's
just doing it for, for the girls.
So, we could probably use someone like Dennis because he has to email people about games that are like 30 years old, and he probably hasn't cocked up anything in the subject heading, right?
I would highly doubt it. I mean, he has interviewed some amazing people, and he is, by his own right, a fantastic games producer. He told us during his interview that he interviewed Stuart Copeland of The Police, who I didn't realise did the music for the original Spyro, composed the original soundtrack.
Yeah.
Blew my mind, considering that back in the 90s, obviously games were becoming more and more mainstream, but they were still on the outliers of pop culture, really. They were a bit more niche. So to have like a legitimately respected musician like that, who's got a lot of credibility from a previous project, to do it was pretty cool to find out.
Yeah. Dennis is just an all-round delight.
He is.
Yes. Those Irish charms. Anything else that you would like from me in my part?
Not for now, Craig. I'd never ask anything of you. I'm never that presumptuous.
Okay, thank you.
I'll never touch you inappropriately.
Okay, let's take it to a level. Shall we call it a break for now?
Let's break to some of our favourite people telling us what their favourite sharks are.
Good save.
Hey, what up, UDSR? It's Danny Richardson from the My Black Friends show. Just wanted to pass along that my favorite shark is the goblin shark. Now, if you want to look this guy up, he's not the most attractive shark, he's not the most charismatic shark, but he is the funniest, and that's what really counts.
You alright, folks? Bill here, second time contributor to the podcast now, but long time listener. And my favourite shark is the Greenland shark, which is the oldest living vertebrate in the world. Lives in the deep, dark depths of the ocean, and the oldest one they've ever found was about 400 years old, which makes it older than the United States as a country. It makes it means it was born before the start of the English Civil War, and I think that's pretty neat. The fact that it's the oldest and therefore presumably the wisest of the sharks makes it the most likely candidate for containing shark wizards, which I think is pretty cool. And then if you have a shark wizard, you could then swim a ring to Mordor. You don't necessarily need to use the eagles or walk forever or anything like that. So, be nice to your Greenland sharks.
Hey guys, we are 2/3 of Radio Gore Press. This is Rosie.
Hi.
And Phil. And my favourite shark is, I'm not going to be ashamed to admit, Bruce from Finding Nemo, because he's voiced by Dame Edna Everage. Like, what's not to love about that? What about you?
My favourite shark is Sharky from Sharky and George. He is fat and pink and reminds me of me.
And a crime buster.
And he's a crime
sea.
buster of the sea. Again, what more do you need in a good, friendly shark?
And we are back. Some diverse sharks there, I must say.
Some good people, some good sharks.
I would say good people, great sharks.
Sharks are just better than humans.
You never answered me what the name, or you may have, and I've forgotten. What did the name come from exactly?
I just had a list of things that people would say out of context. Just anything at all that would sound hilarious as a song title. And Upside Down Shark was one of them. I, in fact, have a list of some other ones that I can share with everyone. So yeah, some other examples of stuff that sounds great out of context as song titles includes Tic Tac Pile Driver, Fade to Pink, 80s Future Bears, Donut Choke, Moderate Mood, Tissue in the Oven, Spicy Urethra, Ham Hock Blues, Kentish Delight, Upgraded Sling, Doubt and Pudding, Potential Dogs, Beach Ball Chubby, Terrible Night Club, Dank Mimes, Windy Wind, Convenient Groove, 50 Shades of Whoa, Snail Trail to Heaven, Right Hand Horse, Impromptu Cocktails, Bad Puns Won't Save You Now, Space Planet, 5 Pound Pony, Stook, Anal Analysis, Genital Jousting, That's as Vanilla as It Comes, Short Term Tulip, Undead Parish,
Okay, come on.
Knock Off Yoda,
Stop.
Unnecessary Napkin, Baby Size Laminator, Muscular Lockpick, Inverted Salad, Illegal Improvement, Artifacts and Coffee Shops, Vicarious Vapor, Extensive Rust, Ethereal Butts, 3 Minutes to Retro, The Kingdom of the Moles, If Only Beans, and Weekend Carnivore.
Why couldn't this be the Weekend Carnivore podcast?
Well, I think we'd already started by the time that got added to the list.
Oh, and I am vegetarian at this point as well.
Well done. I'm proud of you.
Speaking of food, no celebration is complete without a cake. I think it's time.
Is it time?
It's time.
Are
you ready for this cake, Tom?
What, this cake here?
This cake right here.
This one right here.
Does this look really good?
Yeah.
Good cake?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, it's definitely springy enough.
Okay. You're missing out if you're not watching the YouTube version of this.
Or the Facebook Live. Shout out to people watching live.
I was trying to tilt it without tipping off. Whoa, look at that big boy. I have a knife.
Are we actually going to eat this on air?
I'm just going to take a bite out of it.
Should we eat both ends?
Ow! That tastes bad.
Oh, Lidl's cakes are dank. Ugh. And not in a good way. Oh, God, no, that's so sweet. Oh.
That's weird.
Oh.
Just wipe that on me. For anyone, so we got this Swiss roll cake from Lidl's. It's got some weird stripe on the top. It doesn't actually add to any flavour, and
it's just brown. It's just random brown.
And it's like strawberry cream in the middle, but it doesn't taste very good.
No, yeah.
Okay.
It's not as good as their own brand energy drink, Kong Strong.
So, moving on from this cake.
Moving on swiftly
Aside from this cake, what has been your highlights of your first year Upside Down Shark?
What's been my highlights in the formative year of Upside Down Shark? You've mentioned it briefly before, but it has to be interviewing Frank Turner. Because that was the first big get that we had in terms of interviews.
You were so excited.
I was absolutely pooping my pants because I'm not sure if anyone else is aware, but he has essentially his personal email address listed on his website. So you can just have a direct line to him at any time to either ask him a question or ask for fanfic, I guess, if you want it. Or just a, hey, what up? Or if you want to interview him, you can just go through that avenue. And so I emailed him, got a reply really quickly, was already like losing my mind a little bit. And then there was a back and forth with him and with me and his PR agent about whether or not it'd be a phone interview, whether or not it'd be in person, because he was playing in Dover, which is just down the road from us, and we were going to go to the gig anyway.
We think Folkestone's bad. Dover's like sort of worse, but they have a venue which gets good bands.
Like Frank Turner.
And Skindred.
And Dead Kennedys, amazingly.
I hear they have a holiday in Cambodia.
Oh, this cake is really repeating on me. Oh, so So eventually, pretty much the day before, we had confirmation that we could have an in-person, face-to-face interview. And
there were so many messages in my inbox.
Oh, mate,
I'm not sure what's happening with Frank. It might be a phone call. If it's a phone call, I'll let you know so you can set it up. Oh, I don't think it is going to be a phone call. They'll let me know. I just spoke to them. It's not a phone call. Well, I'm going to be able to do it. Are you working? You're working. Oh, no, I'm going to have to find someone else. That was pretty much...
And sure enough, we worked it all out.
Was I right to read it in that tone of voice?
Yeah, that's pretty much me, but probably just more like, Craig, what are we doing? What are we doing?
It's working. What?
But we were lucky enough to make do. We had our good friend Alex step in at the last minute to take cameraman responsibilities, and he was another lovely guy. He
Alex or Frank Turner?
I mean, Frank Turner. Alex is okay. But yeah, he's just again the most down to earth guy. He let us know about his music video for The Next Storm off his previous album, in which he has a boxing / You're right.
Pepsi Max does not like this cake, is what I'm getting.
Nothing likes this cake.
It hit my mouth and turned it into a volcano.
This music video starring CM Punk and Frank Turner having a boxing / MMA match.
Can't just have one interview without mentioning wrestling.
Hey now.
You're a rock star.
Shut up. He said that the original plan was to be Daniel Bryan, which...
best wrestler in the world ever.
Ever.
Ever. Full stop.
Okay. But unfortunately, he was injured at the time, so CM Punk was the stand-in, which is pretty funny.
You know, as you do, just like, I'm shooting this video to do with wrestling. Oh, I can't get Daniel Bryan. I'll just get CM Punk.
Easy peasy.
It was when they were in... Were they in WWE at the time as well?
Yeah.
So pretty high caliber stuff.
Yeah. It's if you're in the biz and you know people, then...
it's a lot easier.
You can open some doors. But that was very interesting. I did not know that before. We discussed Iron Maiden, Frank Turner being on Mastermind, and a whole bevy of other topics, which was very interesting. So thank you very much, Frank, for talking to us back in January. And thank you again for sending us a video for our anniversary episode. Roll clip!
Hi, Frank Turner here, and my favourite type of shark is the goblin shark, because he's an ugly little fucker, and he's pink, but I reckon he's got a nice personality.
And thank you again. That was Frank Turner. What an absolute gent.
Do you mean professional Frank Turner? That is still my favourite joke.
That is one of the ongoing jokes of the show, is that Frank Turner is a professional Frank Turner. Just like I am Tom Baker, professional Tom Baker, Baker of Toms.
Oh my God, that makes me laugh so much every time. The thing about that, I was not there. I can't recall what I was doing. Probably having a stroke or something somewhere. But I was told by Alex, who you went with, like, you were visibly shaking. Like, you just couldn't... Your leg was just, like, jittering all over the place before you started rolling, and he, like, had to kick you a little bit to make sure that you didn't do that and just, like, compose yourself.
I'm pretty high-strung most of the time, if you can't already tell. So
the suit doesn't give that away.
And just, yeah, having all that to organise within one day was not good for my heart health. As a person with a particularly healthy heart, I'm sure you're aware.
I am. Yeah, I got the all clear now. So
okay.
I'm just going to chow into all this cake.
Are you still eating it?
Got a quarter of it done.
Ugh. We'll leave that in the break. So that was although that's happened quite early into the time, it's been a definite highlight. Meeting Frank Turner. Another highlight though, which has been more of a recurring theme throughout our run for the first year, has been you, my dear friend Craig.
Me? What did I do? You're not talking to Agumon, are you? No, you said Craig. Okay, right.
No, I'm still getting acquainted to Agumon.
Okay.
He's my favourite Pokemon. It's what noise was that?
That was anger and sadness in one. Like, I couldn't verbally say anything.
Aroused.
Because you you did that to annoy me on purpose.
But Craig, you are
me.
A gift for sound bites, for clips out of context, much like the phrase upside down shark in itself. And because of this, when I edit most of the episodes, I will sneak in a clip of you saying something hilarious out of context that's augmented by it being out of context, and just stick it at the start of the show. And I thought, to celebrate the 1-year anniversary of Upside Down Shark, we'd play a little montage of you saying stupid things out of context. Roll the damn clip.
And then you saw my Dragon Ball Super Uno cards. We can play as a bagel. We can play as a bagel. We can play as a bagel.
Math magical!
I had a monocle in and it dropped as well into a glass. Like, oh my!
Thank you, Craig, once again for your amazing entertainment.
I don't like that. Oh, I look like a big idiot.
No, not at all.
You know when people say they're laughing with you, like, but not at you? I feel like I'm definitely being laughed at somewhere.
I mean, if you laugh along, then you're laughing with them.
That's true.
Laugh through the tears, Craig.
At a certain point, so when you're a teenager, you're just like, I'm trying to keep this rep up, I'm doing this, I'm doing that sort of thing. When I was around my 20s age, I was just like, I know what I like. I like Digimon. I like anime. I like all these different things. And if people don't like me for it, I don't care. I'm a bit silly at times. I just go with it.
You know what? That makes you the coolest kid of all. And I agree. If you like something, then why not like it?
Yeah.
Who else cares? Who else should care?
And if you like us, rate, comment, and subscribe. Hey!
Yeah, that reminds me. If you're watching this live, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Like us on Facebook, whatever else that we're on. We're on everything. Hit up upsidedownshark.com. Oh, this cake. For all the links, all the former episodes, everything else is all on there. It's a repository of awesomeness and some mediocrity.
I think that's going to do it for part 1 of this episode.
I think that's part 1. So, normally when we have a break in the middle of the episodes, we'll play a track of the week from a band.
Track of the week!
Exactly. Where we'll play a track that we really like and we think we should give a platform for that band to...
And one day we'll have a playlist of all the track of the weeks we've had.
I will get on it. And we've had some really good tracks of the week over the time. We've had tracks from Deary Me, from...
Jim's Own.
Jim's Own.
Special guest Jim.
Special guest Jim's Deary Me, from Elm Street Circle, from Chasing Dragons, from a bevy of great bands. But for this week, we have something a bit different. Our friends at Left Lion Magazine up in Nottingham have recorded their own little, almost like a Shark Bite episode in of itself, where they are discussing their favourite sharks from pop culture and from the real natural world. So without further ado, let's break to Liam and co. at Left Lion Magazine for their opinions on everything shark related. Go!
Hello, we are History of the Weird Midlands, your premium podcast for all things ooky and spooky in Nottingham and the surrounding areas. I'm your host LP Mills, joined today by Rebecca Brewley.
Hello.
And Benjamin Knight.
Hello.
And we would normally be joined by our fourth co-host, Emily Thursfield, but unfortunately she is just straight up dying. It's flu season here, and she is firmly in the ground as we speak. It is pretty rough.
She's not dead.
She's not in the room at all.
She's
not there for example.
She's not watching this awkwardly.
To the right of the camera.
Her throat filled with disgusting goop. We are here today to talk to you guys about sharks, because sharks are sick, and we've been invited by the lovely boys from Upside Down Shark podcast to talk about sharks. So that's what we're going to do. Shall we start with, want to start?
No.
Ty, want to start?
I'll start, why not?
Cool.
Are we talking about my favourite shark, the best shark?
Yeah, what's your favourite shark?
My favourite shark is the Greenland shark.
Ty?
A shark that I've only learned about quite recently. It's basically a shark that's mostly piss.
What do you mean by that, man?
It's made up of, I believe mostly the same chemical composition as urine is.
Oh, gross.
So basically, the shark itself absolutely stinks of urine. It's found up in the, by the name of the Greenland area, and it inspired Inuit creation legends about that particular shark. in which a woman is washing her hair with urine and then throws the urine-soaked rag in the water and it becomes the piss shark.
God, she's a date.
Exactly.
I really like. I've read about these guys too as well. I've read that there is so much urea in their tissues that if you were to eat them, you would almost immediately become intoxicated.
Yeah, exactly. First off, who would eat the piss shark?
Yeah. It would pull them out of the sea because they get quite far down as well.
But you think someone's tasted it, like found out, and just gone,
Yeah. Well, no, because people do eat it. You have to ferment it like, underground.
And I don't want to discredit another culture's beliefs like this, but sometimes you have to wonder how these things came to be. It's clearly they're like, oh, this shark smells of piss, but surely there's a way we can eat it. Please, I just want to eat the piss shark.
I want to eat the piss shark.
So we're clearly doing different things of like trying to ferment the shark so it's edible. Like at what cost?
Put a bit of lemon on it, see what it does. That didn't work.
Also, another thing about it's like. I was looking up on Wikipedia, and you'd expect something like that to be like, oh, it's a legendary creature, it's probably very rare, there's probably not many of them in the wild anymore. No, in the conservation status, it's in like the not threatened section, which means
eat the piss shark.
Which means there are too many piss sharks. There are genuinely too many of them.
The sea rat even like other fish ones eat.
Yeah.
Make that
It's not even in the bracket of any. Like ecological concern.
But they're massive as well. They're like the size of great whites.
Yeah,
they're bloody huge.
And they're really crushed looking boys as well.
Yeah, they're like big white dead eyes.
Yeah,
they look super goth. I love them. So have you've got some got shark facts?
Yes.
Got some shark facts?
Shark fact.
Shark fact.
Yeah, so the goblin shark is dubbed the ugliest shark of all sharks.
Which is just mean.
Yeah. Well, but it is, like, true.
Yeah, they're mean. It's how well mean.
Yeah, well.
True beauty is within, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we've always said in this podcast.
Yeah, its personality is winning.
Yeah, but it's not. It's a gross jaw and face are winning.
Yes.
Consider this, true beauty is goblin.
Get out, man, come on. I can't do this.
Come on.
Talk about the goblin shark, dude.
Okay, so the reason it's so ugly is it's got this massive snout that, like, you know, normal sharks have their like, face goes into their mouth, but the goblin shark's top lip almost and head like protrudes, and it's really, really long. It's like, here, no one doing this. Here.
Sounds really nice.
And also, fun fact, its jaw is on a hinge. Like, come on, like, guys, check out this party trick. So it extends out, and that's how it catches its prey.
They're like the xenomorph from Alien, where they kind of like fire out their bottom jaw. It's super messed up.
It's been likened to how like frogs get their tongue out and get your tongue out.
Get your tongue out, darling.
Get your tongue out. There she goes.
When you see a frog out in the pond, you go, "Oh, darling, get your tongue out."
Get your tongue out, love.
Catching flies there, duck.
Yeah, I love that.
That's a hate crime, though.
That's it. That is a hate crime. Yeah. But no one's flirting with a goblin shark. They look like ball bags.
No. They say that they pose no threat to humans, but maybe that's because they live so deep, like underwater. So 300 feet deep, they're normally found. And if you because people have tried to like bring them up and put them in aquariums, and they just die because they can't handle it.
I can't handle it above water either.
No,
I get really stressed.
too much.
Yeah.
Daily life just falls on their shoulders.
Yeah, I know how it feels, man. I feel a lot of burdens. So yeah, I had a lot of trouble, if I'm honest, because I had so many things to choose from. So I was going to talk about the frilled shark, which are these like crazy dragon things that live at the bottom of the sea, like ancient creatures. But then there's not a great deal known about them because they're so mysterious and so deep down. And then appropriate enough for the podcast, I thought we might talk about ghost sharks. Which are these kind of like weird deep sea, they're called chimeras normally, and they're like horrible little fish with crazy fins and big white eyes.
Who's calling them chimeras?
Scientists, I guess.
Well, I guess the link. I can understand the link between like calling a goblin shark a goblin shark.
Because they've got big.
Look at it, sort of like. That's a funny little goblin.
Yeah.
You see that, like, chimeras of, like, Greek. It's Greek?
Like, it's Greek, and they're like lions with goat heads.
Yeah. You see a shark, it's like... bloody chimera.
Bloody chimera. Look at that with its multiple heads. Nothing of the sort. I also consider talking about the Helicopterion, which is an extinct shark with like a kind of crazy buzzsaw face.
Oh, hell yeah.
They're like,
So cool.
they look like something from like B&Q. They're
Isn't that what
wicked.
they say the goblin sharks?
Yeah,
So
it's like a distant descendant, yeah.
It's like a spore creature.
They do look like they were made by someone with too much time on their hands.
Yeah.
But in the end, I settled on the single greatest shark of all, the 2015 made-for-TV movie, Three-Headed Shark Attack, starring, and I had to get the
quotes.
Well, the quotes, yes, but the names right more than anything. Karuchi Tran, Jason Simmons, and Danny motherfucking Trejo.
Yeah.
That guy is in everything good.
Is it one of those films that's sort of like hilariously bad on purpose? Like
I don't know.
Like,
it's by The Asylum, so you'd think so.
I think we've started leaning into it now. That kind of thing.
But that's actually a sequel to a film called Two-Headed Shark Attack.
Yeah.
And this leads to my favourite review on anything I've ever seen on IMDb. So this review comes from user Seth Rogue One, who writes.
Rogan.
It's Seth Rogen. It's Seth Rogen. They write, does an additional head make for a greater fright? Not really. That's all they had to say on this.
It makes you think.
Yeah, it's like, I'm not convinced if I'm honest.
Some of those philosophical questions, like does an extra head cover an extra?
Yeah. So, you know, well, what's the sound of one hand clapping? What's the sound of three sharks going for Danny Trejo?
What about three sharks heads clapping?
Oh, like just multiple slaps.
Slapping together.
That's the worst, yeah. And the tagline from this film is the single greatest sentence committed to the human language. More heads, more deads.
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, look at it. I love it.
I always found those films like really like even just non-ironically cringe-worthy.
It's not even fun.
It's like when I'm into my bad films.
Yeah,
I like bad films, but when people are like you like bad films, you should watch Sharknado. It's like it's not the same. It's bad on purpose.
It's not the same, man.
Yeah.
We're talking like Birdemic, man. I mean, your favourite film is what, Pink Panther 2?
Yeah, with Steve Martin.
Yeah. Don't watch it. It's terrible.
There's one and two actually.
Okay.
One's better, but still.
I'm just imagining
it's just as good.
You know how people do like marathons where they watch all the Lord of the Rings films? Yeah. Imagine you doing that with this Pink Panther movie, just like back to back.
Can we have a Pink Panther 2 watch party?
Yeah, right.
We like marathon all the films and like, you know like how people do it with Lord of the Rings?
Yeah.
Do that.
We're gonna have to be way more drunk than we are right now.
Yeah.
Cool.
No, not at all. They won't remember the beauty and the magical moments of film.
No, let's get real wasted. Let's go to the shark.
Yeah. Let's eat some Greenland shark. I try and remember the.
Let's go and get some Greenland shark. Eat some piss.
I was tying it back there, you see.
I love it.
But I was
that is premium podcasting. I admire that. Thank you for joining us, for joining our shark chat. You can find us at the Left Line website at leftline.co.uk. We are History of the Weird Midlands. Stay beautiful, yeah?
And that's the end of part 1 of the anniversary episode of Upside Down Shark Radio. Make sure to stay tuned for part 2 coming soon.
Look forward to shark talk and big foreheads like these.